Alright, so today I'm going to be doing something to the Miata, to Buddy. Call him Buddy, he's always happy. I am going to be replacing his dash. He's a 95 original dash, got some cracks, got some issues with it. But recently, I can find it, the gauge hood broke for like the 5th time. I've had to JB weld it a few times, and then the mounting points broke, but that was the final one right there. So yeah, I had to use some extended screws and some washers, and I guess after a while it just didn't like that. And on top of that, I bought the car with no clips. So I've always had an issue with it. I gave up. I didn't want to spend $80 on a new one, so I bought me a new dash. It is out of a 99, and it's actually quite pretty. Very clean, very nice condition. Got me another one of these. I think this is actually a nicer condition than the one that I bought. So we'll be throwing that in there, taking mine out and probably trying to sell it. But I got everything. I got the hood for it. Got that. Glove box, console, airbag, panel, rocker thing, stuff, clock spring cover, all of it. So that's going in today. He's getting a facelift, inside facelift. Yeah, here we go. Now, before we go any further, I'm going to point out that this is going to be a long video. So just get that out of the way. It's going to be a longer video. I don't want to hear it. So now let's move on to my dash. This is the state of my dash as it is right now and has been for the past while. I've had this crack, which has bugged the heck out of me for I don't know how long. It'll sit here and rattle against the windshield at certain RPMs, which is amazing. As I've already said, I have no cluster hood, so when I sit, it will reflect off the windshield in broad daylight. And then I have this down here. Somebody at some point before me broke that, and I will cut my leg on the spring every once in a while. That's always fun. But I already have a 2nd generation steering wheel. Love it. I already have the 2nd generation HVAC controls, like I said. But I feel like the other ones are in nicer shape. So that's going to come out, and then I'll put the other one in. Have to do some rewiring for the hazard light, but I don't even use this, so that's not a big deal if I ever need to flash somebody. That's all I do. So not a whole lot that's going to need to be done. Let's get to it. So first things first, we got to clean some of this stuff out. I'm going to pull the seats out. That'll make things a lot easier. Once the seats are out, I'll get the console. I'll pull the floor mats out just to help keep them from getting stuff on them. And then we'll just start pulling stuff out. Now, side note, I have never done this before. This is literally just me and YouTube videos and then working my way through. So if I do something wrong, I apologize. I would like to know, but I'm pretty sure it's straightforward. Maybe. So this is the state of the car with the seats out. Now, most people won't have these extra clips here like I do, but I ran lights to go under my seats. This one just fell off, so they shine red down here when I open the doors. Usually, it's just, toss that out. It's just the plug for the headrest. Oh, hey, Star Wars ticket. Okay. It's just the plug here for the headrest speakers on both sides, and then on this side you have the plug for, I guess, the seatbelt harness thing. I don't know. Something. My mind doesn't work, so I don't really care. Anyway, that's where we're at. Let's keep going. Oh, wait, I forgot. Also, for me, I have to pull out my subwoofer box. Most people won't have to do that. Alright, so I got the center console out. On a side note, good news, I already bit my thumbnail backwards. Woohoo, aren't we excited? Awesome. So, if you don't already know how to disconnect the switches or where the switch plug is, you probably shouldn't be doing this. Let's just be real here. This is going to be kind of difficult. I'm going to do a little bit less talking just so I can get some of this work done. Once I get the dash out, I'll come back and explain what I've done. But, yeah. Okay, JK. 2 minutes later, pulled the radio out, and then I thought I'd pull this out for you as well. This is my harness, my wiring harness for the HVAC panel. Now, depending on how OCD you are, will depend on how good this looks. This right here, just so you know, is for the defroster. Mine didn't have the necessary components for that. Some do, some don't. Didn't wire it in. Don't feel like I need it, because if you need the defroster, just turn the AC on. This is what mine looks like. We're going to toss that off to the side. Like I said, Miata.net, that will make sense to you. Again, depending on how OCD you are, this, I know, is a mess. I come back here quite often to mess with this and other things, hence the no screws for the console. But this is the only reason I didn't use the crimp connectors or electrical tape or whatever, is because I do go through it. I know it's a mess. Get over it. Now, over here, we do have the airbag. I strongly recommend that you disconnect the airbag, either like from the battery. Disconnect the battery, I mean. Do that. Save yourself a lot. Save yourself. That's fine. I went to do it and found out that my nut for the negative is rounded. Goody. So I had to do it old school / hashtag no fear, and just went in there and quickly unplugged them. Hopefully that'll be good enough. Should be fine. I was dumb, and when I put this in, I didn't even disconnect the battery for the original. So your mileage may vary. Let's get back to this. Alright, airbag removal. Now, when I put my steering wheel in 1.5 years ago, whatever, I did not connect the airbag. If I remember correctly, I think these two wires are the same color. Didn't feel like messing with it, trying to figure out what was what, and my logic was, if I'm sitting this close to the wheel anyway, I'm probably going to be injured no matter what. So I left it off, or I left it unplugged, whatever. And pro tip for you, if you know you're going to reuse bolts like these two that hold the airbag in place, put them back in the holes. That way you know exactly where they are and you don't get them lost or mixed up with other bolts. Great idea. Now, another great idea is to pick yourself up an impact wrench. If you're working on your car, you should have one of these things. I love this thing so much. It's a 3/8 inch drive, and if I remember correctly, I know I probably said that a lot, which I haven't remembered much correctly from 1.5 years ago, but this, I did, is a 21mm nut. So impact wrench plus stuck nut equals easy to get off. Alright, let's just slap on my 1/2 inch to 3/8 inch adapter, or however you want to say it, and go to town. Boom. And I torqued that down, mind you. That just ripped it right off. Alright, so put this back on real quick, just a little bit, just a couple threads. That way if your steering wheel's stuck like this, you don't smash yourself in the face pulling it off, because then the wheel hits the nut, not your face. Alright, steering wheel is off. Now, it's just a matter of dropping the steering rack. I don't know if you can tell or not, but this bolt right here, one on the other side, and then right back in there is another bolt. Actually, you can't see it. It's the nut right there. That's going to be one, and then there's another one on the other side. All of those are 12mm. 4 nuts, bolts, whatever. Steering column falls. Then you can pretty much move on to the actual dash removal. Okay, so you might notice different settings. That's because I'm editing the video and I get to the end of all my clips and then realize I didn't actually go into detail any more past this point. So I'm going to cover something that I didn't mention and then kind of just close out the video. So real quick, I did not talk about the mounting points, which is kind of important. So you've got 9 bolts that hold it to the car, and then you've also got the spot down here where the hood release latch is connected. So we're going to start with these. There's 2 of these on either side. Those are 10mm bolts. Then there's 2 of these on either side of the transmission tunnel, and those are 14mm bolts. And then there's one up there, right there. So that's the top of the dash. That's a 10mm bolt. And then down here for the hood release, behind the plastic is a 17mm nut. Just use an open-ended box wrench, take care of that. Now let me say real quick that the one on top, that's a pain in the butt. A lot of people were saying to use like a combination wrench so you could kind of get down in there because the windshield's in the way. Didn't work for me. Had to go buy a 10mm 1/4" socket with a 1/4" swivel adapter, and finally got it out. Just took a while of trying to be careful not to strip the bolt, but got it out. So that's that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9.5. So that's that. I apologize again. It's super frustrating, just letting you know now. Be careful, and see you on the next video. Bye.